Finding time for time management. Managing time wisely increases productivity and creativity. Optimizing your time is all about making choices accurately. Set smarter, specific, achievable, and measurable goals. A famous saying by Benjamin Franklin states, "Time lost is never found again." So, set goals, keep tracking of time, make schedules properly, monitor and review. Time management refers to the development of processes and tools that increase efficiency and productivity for a student, for a business, and for an organization. Time management does not just happen for anyone, it is a skill that must be worked on, and that most people find it to be a lifelong challenge. Before we begin to explore the time management skill, let us hear a short story which will help to summarize your understanding of management skills. One day, an expert in time management was speaking to a group of business students, and to make a point, he used this illustration. As he stood in front of the group, he pulled out a large white mouth mason jar and set it on the table in front of him. Then he produced about a dozen rocks and placed them one at a time into the jar. When the jar was filled to the top and no more rocks would fit inside, he asked, "Is this jar full?" Everyone in the class said yes, and then he said, "Really?" He reached under the table and put out a bucket of gravel. He dumped some gravel in and shook the jar, causing pieces of gravel to work themselves down into the space between the rocks. Then he asked the group once more, "Is the jar full?" By this time the class began to understand. "Probably not," one of them answered. "Good," he replied. He reached under the table and brought out a bucket of sand. He started dumping the sand in the jar, and it went into all of the spaces left between the rocks and gravel. Once more he asked the question, "Is this jar full?" "No," the class shouted. Once again he said, "Good." Then he grabbed a pitcher of water and began to pour it until the jar was filled to the brim. Then he looked at the glass and asked, "What is the point of this illustration?" One student raised his hand and said, "No matter how full your schedule is, if you try really hard, you can always fit some more things in it." "No," the speaker replied, "that's not the point. The truth this illustration teaches us is, if you don't put the big rock in first, and you will never get them in at all." What are the big rocks in your life? Your children, your loved ones, your education, your dreams, a worthy cause, teaching or mentoring others, doing things that you love, time for yourself, your health. Remember to put these big rocks in first, or you will never get them in at all. If you sweat about the little stuff, then you will fill your life with little things you worry about, and then don't really matter. You will never have the time you need to spend on the big and important stuff. So, tonight or in the morning, when you are reflecting on this short story, ask yourself this question: what are the big rocks in my life? Then put those in your jar first. If you can manage your time more effectively, you will be rewarded in a variety of ways. You will be more efficient in serving your organization and will be able to support your team members better. You will achieve greater success in your very important and high visible role as a line leader. On a personal level, you will certainly feel healthier, more energetic, and in a generally better mood. Time management help you get the most out of your education, allow you to be better prepared for the demands of your life, therefore decreases anxiety, help you to assign time to tasks in proportion to their importance, help you achieve a more balanced life, make you a more productive, successful person. Obstacles to effective time management. You may wish to add personal experience as example of one or more of the obstacles to enhance the presentation. There are more lot of things that make it difficult for us to manage our time effectively. Let us consider some of the most common ones and see if they apply to us. Unclear objective. It is hard to hit a target with your eyes closed, and it's just as hard to accomplish something when you are not exactly clear about what you want to achieve. Second, disorganization. It is easy to see when your desk is too messy, but sometimes you have to step back and ask yourself, if you are taking an organized approach in completing all of your tasks. Third, inability to say no. We all want to be as helpful as we can when others need us, but this can mean taking time away from other priorities to do something we may not have planned. Interruption. Many times we are in the middle of accomplishing something really important and the telephone rings. These calls cannot only take you away from your task, but sometimes they interrupt your train of thought and you cannot return to where you were without retracing your steps. More interruptions. We all like to visit with others, but conversation at inappropriate times can cost us time when we have to stop what we are doing and redirect ourselves from our plans. Period of inactivity. As much as we think we are busy, there are times in our day when we are not really doing anything. Recognizing and making use of these time can have a positive effect on our efforts. Too many things at once. Many of our tasks are not routines, they require concentration to detail. When we are attempting to do many different things at one time, each individual task suffers as a result. Stress and fatigue. Everyone experiences stress from time to time, and sometimes we actually operate a little better and where there is some level of stress. Too much stress, on the other hand, causes our work to suffer and wear us down physically and mentally. Dealing with stress is an important part of time management. All work and no play. Most successful people know how to balance work and play. When work takes over your life, you not only give your body little time to re energize, but you may end up sacrificing the really important things in life like families and friends. What can we do? Create a to do list. Prioritize the important or less important things and stay on schedule. And use reminder, it helps to save time and keeping things in order. Set realistic and achievable goals. Examine and analyze properly your present situation and set apart goals which are really important to you. Take required action you need to take to achieve your target. Perseverance. Keep a positive attitude to face frustration and failure. Implement effective strategies to overcome pressure and pursue your goals. The obstacles that we face are not unconquerable. Sometimes the hardest thing to do is to identify that these obstacles exist and are affecting your ability to manage your time. When you have identified your obstacles, you can begin to overcome them. Set goals. Here are some strategies you can use to overcome the obstacles we just examined. The first and the most important strategy you can employ to manage your time is to set clear goals for yourself. As a line leader, you will want to accomplish many things in your time of office. The best favor you can do for yourself is to determine what those goals are and make sure your efforts are always directed towards their achievement. Effective goals share a number of characteristics in common. Effective goals are specific. When a goal is too vague, you may never know how to reach it or even when you have reached it. Make sure that you know exactly what you hope to achieve. Measurable. When you have a goal that is measurable, you will know how far you have to go to reach the goal and when you get there. Points to be focused here. You may wish to provide an example of a vague, unmeasurable goal and then a specific measurable goal here. For example, I will support extension in my district is a vague goal, while I will establish 5 new clubs in my district is both specific and measurable. Achievable. It is a commendable to set your sights high, but sometimes we try to accomplish more than we can actually do. Your goals should be such that if you extend yourself, you can just reach them. Realistic. Can you establish a program in your district to help everyone with vision problems? It is certainly a worthwhile goal, but it may not be realistic at this time. It might be better to work on setting up a program with schools to provide vision testing and eyeglasses for disadvantaged children. Time based. Most of the goals that you establish in your position as a line leader will not be long term. It is important to set time guidelines for your goals so that you can keep track of your progress as you are going along and can be alert to when you are falling behind schedule.